This one's quite a loud one, isn't it? Okay, so I guess I already introduced myself earlier, but I'm just going to close things up. So really, it's my job to make some closing remarks. And as you've heard, this event today and yesterday's workshop and tomorrow's workshop, they're organized by the Global Faculty Development Initiative here at Kumaba. And so I'm going to take this opportunity just to spend a minute letting you know a little bit about GFD, because I think some of you may know what we do, but some of you may not. So really at its heart, the GFD here at University of Tokyo has three primary aims. First, we try to expose current and future faculty to effective, learner-centered teaching techniques. Secondly, we try to nurture instructors who can teach content courses in languages other than Japanese. All right, so it's very often this is going to be Japanese professors, but now giving courses that are not in Japanese. And of course, we may always think about that as to international students or non-Japanese students, but why not? Why not? I mean, the chemistry department in Hongo in its senior year has all its courses in English now. And third, to actively engage in exchange of ideas and research on all aspects of teaching and learning and global faculty development. All right, so how do we try and meet those goals? Well, we do that through a number of different activities, which include running workshops and symposia. This is our kind of big annual one this time, but we run them throughout the year. Please, respond. If you want to come to any of our events, when you get emailed about them, do come. We run events, some primarily internally for our own faculty, but also outside too, on a wide range of topics based on pedagogical research and practice. The other things we do is we provide money to faculty to support and develop their teaching. We have a program called Look, where we will give you money as an academic here to go to international conferences on educational research and learn about new things. We have a program which encourages you to try one active learning activity in your class, and we will give you some money, and we will help you assess it and evaluate it. Okay, so we have programs like that, and we also provide resources to help new faculty understand how they might, maximize their approaches to teaching in the environment here at the University of Tokyo. And finally, I think one of the important things you've heard a little mentioned occasionally is by trying to build a supportive community of faculty here teaching courses in languages other than Japanese, and then on to all faculty. It's very, very common, I noticed in Japan, for people to work on their own. The classroom is on your own, and people don't really share this. So we have lunches every week throughout the semester. We try and get people to come together, say, what are the problems with my teaching? Have you got any ideas? What can I do? Do you know any good stuff? Any good resources? Drink coffee, chat, ask questions about any and all aspects of your teaching life, and even aspects of research too. So that's what we really want to do. And we primarily try to build the community in University of Tokyo, but we also want to build that community outside. I think the problems that we face in Japan are very similar everywhere. And every time I go to these things and I hear, we have a lot of guests who've come here today from outside Tokyo, and I watch the nodding faces as the problems are raised, and everyone, and so we need to work together as much as possible. So today we've made available some of we have a new GFD pamphlet. I don't know if you actually got a copy on the way in, but if you didn't, you can get one on the way out, the small pamphlet. We deliberately produced this in Japanese now to try and encourage more Japanese faculty to engage with us and engage with each other. And as you'll notice, we had this event today with simultaneous translation for the same purpose. We've also just published our annual report this year, which is available. You may see copies. If you'd like to have a copy of that, that's in English. Just ask on your way out and you'll be able to get a copy of that. Okay, so I think one of the things that we're very keen to promote amongst all faculty is a reflective approach to teaching and a willingness to constantly look for ways to improve the learning of our students and their students. So I guess, and thinking about this in the context of today, that really what underpins everything is our promoting a student-centered learning at the heart of everything we do. And I hope that you've all noticed that theme throughout everything we've heard today. So today we've heard 4 fascinating and diverse presentations representing a variety of disciplines, educational contexts, and innovative approaches to challenging a range of different issues that students experience across the globe. So it's been very broad. Despite the breadth of the issues and the experiences on offer, I think, today, I believe that there's much that we can all learn from these varied perspectives. So first this morning, Professor Madiba introduced to us the remarkable ways in which translingualism can be an effective approach to address difficulties South African students face in integrating their existing knowledge and experiences that's divided across their language domains. And for me, that was remarkable, that such an approach can bring genuine success in a subject such as teaching mathematics. I think it's inspiring, and I think it exemplifies the principle of putting the student at the center of the education. And I think it does so in a very beautiful way. So the whole discussion that you brought to us said, this is what our students do, and this is who our students are, and how do we build around that? And then Professor Winkleman showed us that a concept as simple at its core as making students understand what they need to do and what's expected of them, okay, that something as simple as that can have substantial benefits for all students in reaching their goals. That's a very, very important idea. I think that that's a lesson that every teacher needs to pay attention to. So I strongly encourage any of you who want to think more about that to come and join us tomorrow morning for the workshop to hear more about that. So Professor Lenefors then talked about the benefits that can come from co-teaching. This is quite an interesting aspect for me, the co-teaching and virtual exchange in equipping students with high-level critical thinking skills and an ability to work with others effectively to achieve real solutions to real problems. I think to solve the problems human beings face in the coming years, this type of approach, which really builds on the core liberal arts philosophy of the University of Tokyo, is going to become increasingly important. And finally, Professor Jensen injected a healthy dose of reality into the proceedings, reminding us that creating and delivering new student-centered approaches is hard, and that there are a lot of challenges that must be overcome to integrate and embed these positive initiatives into our institutions. In different contexts, some of the problems differ hugely, and some of the problems are almost exactly the same. But it's important to know from the outset that these things don't just happen automatically, and that we need to think about our teaching philosophy, our program and curriculum design very clearly and explicitly to foster the kind of teaching that provides the greatest benefits to our own students. So, in closing, I hope that all of you have learned something today that you can take home with you, that might help you in your own teaching, or your own learning, or in the way you support others in either of those endeavors. And I'd encourage you all in the future to make your voices heard, speak out, speak together, because it's only through the fact that we work together to raise the awareness on this that we can make progress in changing the way that we do our education. So before I close, I'd like to thank all of the people who've worked very hard in preparing and delivering this stimulating symposium. So first of all, I'd like to thank our invited speakers for traveling such a long way, apart from Thomas, to come and join us, and for providing such inspirational sessions for us to learn. So can we have a round of applause for them, please? Next, organizing an event like this takes an enormous amount of work behind the scenes, and organizing 3 days of events like this takes even more. So first of all, I'd like to single out one person in particular, and that's Yoko Mori. Can you please stand up? She has basically single-handedly made today happen. She's repeatedly gone above and beyond the call of duty to make sure everything was prepared for today's event. And so I think we owe her a great debt of thanks. She's also been assisted by two really great peak students, Alex Taniguchi and Doyoung. Doyoung, can you stand up? And we have a round of applause for Doyoung. Doyoung and Alex have done an awful lot of the preparatory work as well, making the posters, promotion, all sorts of things. Alex can't be with us today. And then next, I would like to, where are we up to? Okay, thank all the students who have helped with today's organization. So I guess, are you in here? All the people who've been shuttling microphones, registering, all the jobs that we've done, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, so the next person I want to thank, or next group of people, could we express our gratitude? You can't see them, but magically up there behind the glass window, we have Saimaru, our translators, who've made it possible for every single piece of information today to be available in English and Japanese. So let's give them a big round of applause. And also, I'd really like to thank the staff from Todai TV, who are at the back, who've been recording all the material. So what's going to happen is in the future, you will be able to access all of today's presentations and the information online. Okay. So finally then, I'd like to thank all of you for your attendance and attention. And I wish you all a very relaxing and pleasant evening. Thank you.